Addiction is. It's in your mind. Your mind, some of you maybe have had class already about dopamine and serotonin and all this, but in your mind is what is wanting you to get high. I got high. I had collected 22 key tags over a 6-year period working Carl's Anonymous. That meant I listened to what they told me about recovery, but I only did the things that I thought I needed. Only the things that I thought would work. But your mind likes dope more than you do. Anybody here ever quit and say they wasn't going to do it again? And did it again? Yeah, you know why? Because your mind wants the dope more than you do. The mind will give you an excuse. Girlfriend leave me. Oh, I gotta get high. I got a new job, time to get high. Yeah. Every butterfly lands on the hood of my car. That's a message from God. Time to get high. It's always something there that is going to trick me and make me think I've got to get high. But we get high because we want to. But we don't want to because there's something wrong with us. We want to because there's something wrong in our head. You're living with an undercover agent who wants to get high. It's your mind. You know it's your mind that moves your arms, moves your legs and your knees, and it's your mind that sends you to the dope house. So you can't sit up here and tell yourself you ain't gonna get high. That don't work. So today we're going to talk about basic successful recovery. And this is a discussion format, so anybody can speak up, ask a question, comment, criticism, don't make no difference. But we're going to talk about what successful recovery is all about. First of all, there are many ways to get clean. I'm not here to tell you that you got to go one way or the other. You got harm reduction, you got smart recovery, you got Alcoholics Anonymous, you got Narcotics Anonymous. I happen to make it successfully through Narcotics Anonymous. I came in Alcoholics Anonymous, but I was only doing that so I could continue to get high. Because they let you smoke dope in Alcoholics Anonymous. And so I went to AA so I could smoke reefer. And that didn't work. But in the first word in the basic text, if you put it up on the board, I want you to look at the symbol, because see, a symbol is what tells you who you at, where you going, what you dealing with. Anybody ever go down? I went to New Orleans once, and I got out the car, and I got out, and I looked at my people. I could tell them. You know how you can look and see people on the street? You can tell that's your blood, that's your, that's your. I gave them my symbol. They knew what that meant. Yeah, where it is. Yeah, that's what it is. And so in NA, we also have a symbol. There it is on the board. The first word to recovery is simplicity. And that's a problem for us. You know why? Because we smart. I told somebody earlier, if you want to get clean, stay stuck on stupid. Because we are so smart, we trick ourselves into getting high. It's our smart brain that's telling us to do it. And we'll say, well, I'm just going to get one. I'm going to drink white liquor, not brown liquor. I'm going to smoke reefer only on the weekends. You know, all kind of crazy stuff we come up with. But simplicity is the key to our symbol. It imitates the simplicity of recovery. That's what we're talking about here. And so in the book, it says there are all sorts of occult esoteric connotations that can be found in the simple outline. So what did I just say? I read that and I said, what the hell are they talking about? I don't know nothing about no esoteric and occult and connotations. Hidden messages in recovery meant only for a few. You got to decide if you want to be one of those, but you're not going to get there on your own. You're not going to get there from learning how to use dope or drink. You know, we think we can go to Homeward Bound and learn how to get high. You know, I know some of y'all in there thinking that. You ain't wanting to stop getting high, you just want to get high successfully. A lot of times we want to get high without the consequences. You know, no jail, keep my job, keep my girlfriend, all kinds of crazy stuff. But it's a hidden message is meant only for a few. So what you got to learn is you're not going to learn how to use successfully. We think we can think our way into staying clean. You already raised your hand. You said, I ain't going to do that no more. But you got out. And the reason we do that is because we try to think our way into getting clean. Now, how you going to use your brain to think and get clean? Does that really make sense? No. You can't take your brain and use it to fight against itself. And you're fighting against your brain. But they give us a program, a set of principles, written so simply, we can follow them in our daily life. Through those principles, we learn how to act our way into right thinking. See, the key to recovery is not learning how to do it. The key to recovery is doing the work that's going to get you where you're going. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Reggie? Okay. But foremost in the minds of the fellowship, I'm going to give you the symbol and what it means. Just like I gave you the symbol, where's it at? I'm going to give you the symbol of what recovery means. As the outer circle, where'd he go? The outer circle denotes a universal program. You're going to hear people tell you, I got a program and the program. There's only one program. There ain't no such a thing as a program, my program. No, it's the program, one program of Narcotics Anonymous. There are going to be people that are going to try to tell you, no, you do it this way. But you ain't got to do it that way. It's this way here. You know, you ever notice that dope things know everything? You ever know alcoholics? You get you an alcoholic that ain't married and they'll tell you how to run your marriage. You get an inmate and they'll tell you how to get out of jail. And tell your lawyer what to do. That's what we do. And so when you begin to know that you don't know, that's when you're going to start learning how to get clean. So, which has in it 4 ways of getting clean. It's about self, society, service, and God. God stands for G-O-D, God. It also stands for good orderly direction. It also stands for group of dope fiends. I'm serious. You know, this book was written for addicts by addicts. The difference between AA and NA is NA was written by the entire fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. AA was written by Dr. Bob and Bill, and they modified it. But NA was taken, all of the know-it-alls got together, and they had meetings and conferences all over the United States. Wichita, North Carolina, South Carolina, California. And from 1960 to 1972, they wrote this book. And so this book is the manuscript. It's called a textbook. Y'all know what you do in a textbook?
You read it.
Study. Write it in every year for a higher grade.
Okay,
You study.
thank you.
Study.
What's your name?
Tawana.
Tawana's just said it.
I got study.
Don't get a textbook and read it. You get a textbook and study it. Just like your Bible. You want to study your Bible so that you can show yourself approved. You can study. The reason you show yourself approved is because you're going to learn stuff that will let everybody see. Oh, he got it now. He's different than he used to be. And what they got, you got four sides of a pyramid. Take us back. Just leave it up there for me, Ricky, until we get ready. You got four sides of this God self society and service, and it's a pyramid. Four sides of the pyramid. And the pyramid is founded on the universal program. The universal program is saying we got to learn how to do the right thing for the right reasons. Now leave it to adult thing. They'll do the right thing for the wrong reason. They'll do the wrong thing for the right reasons. But it's about being simple. Remember, quit thinking.
No thinking.
No thinking. If you start thinking, you're going to mess it up. I need to tell you that I got high at 8:14 on a Wednesday night, and I got high all day, every day for the next 28 years. But I can tell you now, because of the fellowship in Jesus Christ, I ain't had no drugs, alcohol, mind-changing, mood altering substances for the last 30 years. I'm not saying that to brag or boast, so that's all I got. But one of the things they tell us students, we have to stop using, lose the desire to use, and find.
And
Guess what? How long do you think we need to find a new way to live?
we don't know.
That's right. You better wake up tomorrow and look for something else. Because if you know where you're at, if you know what you're doing, that's when you don't know. That's where stupid comes in. So what we had to do is wake up to find a new way to live. And the thing I'm doing is I don't come to recovery to stop drinking and drugging. I come to find a new way to live. Only way I'm gonna find a new way to live is learn how not to get high. Now there's a secret to that. I'm going to share it with you. Okay. Maybe some of y'all know it. What's the secret to not getting high?
Don't big up.
What'd you say?
Don't big up.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris just said it. Can you figure out how you can cook it up, shoot it up, roll it up without using your hands? You can't get high unless you pick it up. So, again, simplicity is the key. Just don't put it in your hands. But see, I remember going to South Dallas and a guy I didn't like came up to me and offered me some dope. That was a gift from God. That was a message. But see, that's just because I wanted to get high. I just need a little bit of excuse, a little bit of reason. Somebody dies, somebody gets sick. I need a little bit of reason to get high. The reason to stay clean is do what Kinsey and IKEA are doing, because they're doing it together. Did you notice why I brought them out? Because they're doing things together. You know, they tell you if you want to lose weight, if you want to stop smoking, you get you an accountability partner. Well, that's what NA is. There are 12,337,000 accountability partners in the world that have gotten clean using 12 steps. It ain't the only way. There's some people that get it solely from Jesus. But let me tell you a secret. The 12 steppers got it from Jesus. It came from the Bible. So it ain't something new. It's just a reprogramming of the same material. So the square base denotes goodwill. Goodwill is the right thing for the right reasons. And what we find out is the broader the base, the more goodwill you got in your life, the more recovering people in your life, the more people that you know that's practicing this program, the higher your point of freedom.
Don't let them turn against you.
Do what?
Don't let them turn against you. Good people around you and no bad. That's always great.
Well, to be honest with you, all things work together for the good of the glory of them that love the Lord. And even if they try to work against you, you know, God let Pharaoh run Egypt. God lets bad things happen to good people. Because in the end, he's God. He gonna get his way. I'm either gonna go willingly, I'm gonna get his way.
Right.
And so a lot of times, one of the things they tell us that we need to learn as brothers and sisters in Christ, we need to learn how to love. And one of the first people they tell you to love is your enemies. It's like heaping coals on their head when you show them some love. And y'all done some stuff to some people. Anybody here like me that stole somebody's dope and help them look for it? I loved them. I didn't have anything against them, but my mind wanted to get out.
You hear that on that? I sure.
There are recovering people all over the world now. And the reason it worked for adding a little bit to it. That's why I came to Jesus. I knew about the 12 steps, but I'm gonna tell you, first time I went to a 12-step meeting, I looked at the steps on the wall. I said, that's some stupid shit there. Don't work. Somebody tell me the other day, he's been coming to meetings over here, but he got him a good job there. And he's working, he's only got 3 hours a day to go to a meeting, and he can't go to a meeting online because you know, he's got to maintain these jobs. And I said, well, there's people that get hired after 20 years clean. He says, but I said that, yeah, but that's because that's the way they wanted to do it. And people that work the program, you work the program for 20 years, you ain't gonna stay clean. I said, well, you ain't going to no meeting. How do you know that? I'm gonna tell you something. For 30 years I've been here, and I've seen a lot of people go out and get high. And you know what happens? You know why they get high? They stop working the program. All you gotta do is follow instructions. They said if you're looking at the book and you're trying to learn how to get clean, don't read the instructions. Follow the instructions. You gotta follow the instructions. And so, says, only if we do what is supposed to be done can we be fully whole and wholly free. Think about that. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, like I said, I know what getting high is all about. And fully whole is like a big elephant. You know, you take a baby elephant and you put a little bracelet around his foot and you drive a stake in the ground and he can't go nowhere. He can't pull that stake out of the ground. But once he becomes a 20,000-pound colossus, big, huge, like a dinosaur, guess what? You can put a ring around his arm, stick it in the ground, and he still thinks he's stuck. He's a big old elephant now. All he got to do is pull it up. Because the disease gets you trained. It tells you you can't do it. It tells you it ain't gonna work.
What's up there?
You know, and disease is like Satan. It's a lie. When he lies, he speaks his native tongue. That's what they said about Satan. And he runs around like a roaring lion trying to find somebody he can devour. Has he devoured you?
At one point.
Has he ever took some of your stuff? Did he ever make your friends and family turn against you? Did he ever make people not like you? Did he ever? They used to shut, the dope man used to lock the door when he saw me coming. I live over here on this side of town, and I got to the point where I couldn't buy dope in South Dallas, in Southwest Dallas, in East Dallas, or in West Dallas. I had to go to Fort Worth to buy dope. Because here they come say, here he comes. Leave him alone. And so what we gotta understand is that this thing does work if you work it. But you gotta do the work. What is the work? The what? Be still? Okay.
Do the steps.
Do the steps?
That's what you said.
Okay.
Get what you give out, but give what you have. You can't keep what you give or to give it out.
Can't keep what you got unless you give it away. That's so true. That's the reason we do what we do.
Okay, Ms. Cassidy.
By giving it away, we get what we got. That works with your spirituality, with your religion as well. You teach people about God, you're gonna learn more about what you know, because when you start to speak, you know it better. Go ahead, Kenzie, what'd you say? Every day we learning stuff because we finding this new way to live.
I don't know why, but I think that God, He moves people in our life because we don't know their intention, but God, He knows everybody's intention. So if there's a person trying to get to you and then they're trying to fix over, God will remove that person silently because He knows their intention towards you.
Good. Anybody else want to add to that? What has Narcotics Anonymous done for you, Reggie?
Changed my life. I've taken suggestions from other addicts just like me.
Kept me sober. I'm a month or something.
Yeah. Ricky?
It has given me a new way to live. All their rights.
Okay.
And then it's helped me build a relationship with my higher power.
Yeah. Yeah. We always tell you about what's called the 5 Alive. 5 Alive is there are 5 things that and this is the most important thing I'm going to say tonight. There are 5 things. If you do them every day, you will never drink or drug again.
Go slow.
Go slow? Okay.
Take a break.
All right. Wanna go and keep getting it. This is what that's what it's about. That's a program. That set of principles written so simply, I can follow them in my daily life. The first thing you do in the morning is pray. You get up in the morning, the first thing, get down on your floor, look for your shoes under your bed, and get down on your knees and pray. Now, let me remind you why you pray. Your mind is the thing that's going to get you high. So when you pray, you're reminding your mind, we ain't going there today. You're giving them notification that that dog ain't going to hunt today.
And I think
Yeah, somebody want to say something?
No, we're good.
Huh?
No, sir, we're good.
Okay, so you pray. That's the first thing you do. The second thing you do also is gonna affect your mind, is you read some literature. See, it's hard to go to the dope house when you pray. Please God, on Monday, I say, please God, don't let me ever get high again. Then by Friday, it turned into, God, if it is your will, don't let me get high again. But it's kind of hard to pray to God to keep you clean and then turn around and spit in God's face and do it. So then if you read some literature, see, you got all kinds of books. You got Just for the Day and NA, you got Daily Choice. You got a bunch of just daily meditation books. After you pray in the morning, the second thing you do is read some literature.
So when you do- and then when you do things like that, you put it back up on the cross each time that you disobey it.
Yeah, you putting him on the cross, you crucifying Jesus all over.
Every time, every time. I'm ready.
Yeah. So the second thing you do is read some literature. Third thing you do is you do like Kinsey, IKEA, talk to another addict.
Okay.
Now, don't talk to a using addict.
They're gonna persuade you to get high again.
Yeah, they'll get you high before you get them clean. No, you talk to a recovering addict. Sometimes they suggest that we get a sponsor. I suggest that you get one too, but I suggest you investigate before you pick a sponsor. How do you pick a sponsor? Anybody got an idea?
You ask a question.
Ask some questions. What question?
Good question.
What?
Find out if they're.
Y'all don't ask anybody to give you a hit.
Yeah, I done done that.
Yeah, we didn't ask for a hit. Why can't we ask for some help? Go ahead, Dwayne.
Look at that 90 and you're gonna get to hear a bunch of people speak every night. And you're gonna hear somebody saying something good and positive that you can relate to, and you can call that, hey, can I get your phone number? That's what I'm gonna say. I'm telling you, that 90 and 90, you're gonna hear someone that knows how to speak just like you, and that can be your sponsor.
You find somebody that you relate to, basically.
Find somebody like you. Find somebody that you can relate to. Find somebody that tells your story.
There's somebody that's gonna be straight in the front, even when you think that they're.
Oh, they'll piss you off if
They're
they're
picking
good.
up, but you. That's how you know that that's that person, that's your sponsor that you really need.
Yeah, well, you heard me tell you about the guy that was telling me about he don't need to get no meetings. The people that relapse, I don't believe that I believe they was working the program, they still relapse. I believe it didn't work. I told him, well, you can go ahead. Said, I refused to talk to him. I said, you go ahead, do what you gotta do. I ain't got no time to waste with you. Does it make sense to talk to somebody that's high?
No.
Try to make sense to somebody that's high. You're gonna talk to the dope and the alcohol. No, it ain't gonna work. And so I tell them, just go ahead, do what you gotta do. I'll be here when you get back.
Some that get high and want to preach, talk about the word today. How can I understand you and not know that you high, you trying to tell me something about God?
Well, we do have a lot of people that wanna turn preacher.
Yeah, that's what.
What do you think about that, Rick?
I think about when you talk about the butt naked Bible study.
I used to hold butt naked Bible studies down at the Wayside Inn. Know where the Wayside Inn is?
Yeah.
To get naked, study the book of Matthew. And I told him I was a Christian dope fiend. I was a Christian dope fiend. I used to share my dope. And the line in the book applied to me then. says we'll tell ourselves all sorts of outrageous nonsense.
Make people get naked and get.
We get naked and get out.
Amen. Get out. More than that.
Yes, ma'am. It doesn't make sense, do it? No, but it did work eventually. But like I said, I got 30 years now. It's a whole bunch of naked people walking around still getting out. Go ahead, somebody had their hand up. I saw it.
Somebody had their hand up.
Go ahead. Number 4,
Yeah, I'm ready.
you go to a meeting.
Go to the meeting.
You doing that right now?
You're having a meeting right now. Where can you find a meeting?
Google.
Google?
Google.
That's exactly right. Do you realize that there are 8 worldwide recovery meetings every hour? All you gotta do is put down recovery or AA or NA and the meeting near me, and they'll tell you where it's at.
Okay.
You ain't got no excuse. But like he said, you want to go to the meeting, you need to go to meetings to see what happens to people that don't go to meetings. People that don't go to meetings get high. People that don't work a program get high. People that follow the rules, and see, that's what Christianity is really all about. It's about obedience. There's some people that can get obedience, they don't have to go to a plastic method of recovery. Plastic method is working the steps. But what they do is like the 4th step, we admit to God, to ourselves, to another, then that's that nature around. The Bible says confess your sins one to another. It's the same thing. But we got to understand that we can either be obedient or we can follow the program. Either one works. Any other questions?
I'm waiting for number 5.
Number 5, what do you think it is?
Don't tell me I get a job.
Everybody wants to sleep on that. They gonna knock down this right now.
Meditate.
Well, if you start your day off, what do you do when you start your day off with?
Very nice.
Got it. I got it. Got it.
You pray in the morning, you read some literature, you talk to another recovering person, and then you go to a meeting, and then you pray at night, thanking God for keeping you sober, keeping you clean. And see, the reason that works is that if you wait till the night, to the end of the day, well, you done stayed hard, clean all day. You ain't gotta worry about it. You made it. And then you wake up the next morning and you do the same thing.
Repetition.
There's an old song, some of y'all ain't old enough to remember this, some of y'all are. There's an old song that says, same thing it took to get your baby hooked, it's gonna take the same thing to keep it.
Yeah.
And what they're telling us is, you do recovery like you did dope and alcohol. Everything. I went to jail once in the pawn shop because I had put everything in my house that had an electric plug on it in the pawn shop. The TV was in the pawn shop. The VCR was in the pawn shop. Everything that had a plug on it was in the pawn shop except for one thing.
Oh,
My popcorn popper.
you're right.
Popcorn popper. I had a popcorn popper, they didn't want to give me but $3 for it. I told Easy Pawn up. To zip down, you know what? But that was because I had given them everything I had except my popcorn popper. And here I am trying to do the same thing I've always done, that's take it to the pawn shop, sell it, sell my body, sell, steal, do whatever I had to do. In fact, I would buy dope and not eat. I'd buy dope, not take a shower for 3 or 4 days. I was afraid to go out there on the cut. So I need to know what's going on. Give it to me.
You know, I hear a lot of people say, when they get clean, I ain't got no way to be. Well, heck, you have to find a way to
Which I tell me,
I remember walking from I-20 to Illinois to buy a dime in the rain. Now, it seems outrageous to walk to a meeting, but it didn't seem outrageous for me to walk from I-20 to Illinois.
I need that.
So what she's saying is absolutely true.
Oh, my God.
But now, I'm gonna tell you something about most people in recovery. If you get to the meeting,
Gotta wake it up now.
we'll get you home. But if you can get to the meeting, we'll get you home. We ain't gonna come pick you up and take you home. Because that's what's called enabling. That's codependence.
Yeah.
That's real.
That's crazy because I remember one time I walked Pleasant Road for $5 to go get drugs. It was crazy. I didn't want to go to no meeting.
I looked up some lamplight in the hotel, see how many people have overdosed in there? They can't give me a number, but guess what? They're finally shutting that motherfucker down. Because all the people that had overdosed from methamphetamine contamination in that hotel. There's so much dope in that hotel. Finally gonna get burnt down and the owner of that property, he'll make some big money out of that.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something in case you didn't know this. There's very little real dope out there anymore.
Everything fixed with fentanyl.
You getting fentanyl.
That's why I say everything like that.
Yeah.
They're putting bigger hotels out there, that's why.
Well, you know why they call them hotels? That's a place for a bunch of meth heads and others can live. Now, don't freaking blow it out what I'm saying. No.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was just wanting to remind people, during that COVID, I was staying at a hotel, I happened to have $5,500 every 2 weeks, for about 3 months, I had about $10,000 a month coming through on my unemployment, and I was staying at a hotel. I tell you what was something that will shock you, that COVID-19, it was really out of there. I was sitting there watching 45, 47 on sleep. I watched the ambulance pull up and put a metal card up to the secretary, and put the body down.
They used to have bodies stacked up in New York and they were stinking in the street. You know, the reason we don't do well in recovery is because of isolation. Many of us were isolated, getting, using, and finding ways and means to get more. But after we got what we wanted, we stayed in the room. We even gave money to people, don't hit my package. You know what they gonna do to a package.
Then you come back.
But they said but you know, it's kind of like I told you about the Wayside Inn. I used to mess around around the Wayside Inn, and then my world shrank. I didn't get more than 2 blocks away from it. On through the progression, you know what I'm talking about. Where you used to go you was a world-class drug addict. You go to Houston and get the lick. They say they got it in Addison, you go to Addison and get it. But then in the end, all you could do is go around the corner. All you could do is make it to Bobo's house. And then when our disease was treated as a crime or moral deficiency, we went into deeper isolation. Isolation is the key to being addicted. And the answer is we. 12-step programs are a we program. We admitted we were powerless and life had become unmanageable. We came to believe that power greater than self restores insanity. We gotta understand we don't do this by ourselves.
There's a link on YouTube. If you look it up, it's called Rat Park. And it's a study about addiction and isolation. So they put one rat by itself in a cage and then put heroin and cocaine water. Well, somebody said, well, that's just not right. So they went and they put a whole colony of rats and they still had the cocaine and heroin water. Every rat that was by itself died. There was 0 overdoses of rats when they were in the colony.
Wow.
They call that staying with the herd. If you watch safari in Africa and the lions is out there taking the gazelles that get eaten are the ones that are outside the herd. But the ones that's running with the herd, they got the protection of the fellowship. They got the protection of the broad mercy. What would you tell somebody? You don't necessarily work program, but you work Bible. So what would you tell them about the Bible? Where should they start?
Romans,
The whole book of Romans,
yes.
started with Romans 1.
Yeah, Romans is where it says, that what I would do, I don't do, and that's what I don't want to do, that's what I do. Yeah, that's Romans. Paris, you got any idea where to tell people that just want to use the Bible to get clean to go?
I like looking at the promises of God. Looking at the, searching the Old Testament, looking at, all the promises he made throughout the Old Testament and where it all came true in the New Testament.
Yeah.
That way you learn to trust in him, knowing that everything that he's ever predicted in the Old Testament through the prophets has all came to pass. So he is trustworthy in fulfilling his word.
He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I first got a letter covered 3 years ago, my cousin got on the phone, she says, Dwayne, if you don't do nothing else, there's 30 chapters in the book of Psalms. Okay, read a chapter a day. And then, it's not everything about addiction, there's so many different variants of the chapters in that. But those 30 chapters, reading just 1 chapter a day, you get, like you said, starting our morning off, putting a little bit more horsepower in our brain. Because boy, I tell you what, with all that dope, we went from IQ to no Q, okay, in our brain, and I did. And so the real question, being simple will make your life very simple. If you become simple and find your higher power, then we're step.
Okay,
Carl,
yes.
before I could get into the word though, when I first got clean, I had to, for me, change my music. So I didn't listen to the things I used to listen to, right? So I changed my soul, make me feel good. The word about, like contemporary Christian music is where I mix in, and even Christian rap, right? There's so many genres for anything that you like, but it was, using the word music got me changing my thinking and my. Oh. And well.
She said, get the Christian radio station and turn it on.
Maybe.
I know that.
That one.
Yes, ma'am.